Hey everybody, this is Brent in Central Arkansas. What I've got here is the next generation grow of a pepper I call it sweet and spicy. It is a second generation F2 cross between my pepper I call California Bryan, which is a dehybridization of Mariachi, a Santa Fe Grande type pepper, and I crossed that dehybridization California Bryan with, it's fully open pollinated by the way, and I crossed it with lipstick because lipstick's a really sweet pepper and they're both similar shape. They've got this this shape, and so I really like the sweetness of the lipstick pepper. So I wanted a pepper that was like California Bryan, which is about half the spiciness of a jalapeno, and I wanted to decrease it even further to where it barely had spice in it, where you can just snack on these peppers all day long and get a little bit of a kick to it, kind of like a jalapeno popper with cheese from whatever restaurant you go to. And so I got lots of examples of a spicy pepper that was very similar to California Bryan, and I got almost none of them that were sweeter at all. No increased sweetness and no decreased spiciness from all the examples I planted. But I did get one example that brought out characteristics that I like out of both peppers, and that was what you see. Is what you see here. This is a pepper that is a little bigger than California Bryan. The pepper fruits are, and they change color from when they first come out of the flower. They're very light colored, like the top of this pepper here, and then they progress until they're ripe red, like you see here. And that's why I have examples of this one pepper. The thing that's unique about this pepper is it has zero spice to it at all, none whatsoever, and it is very, very sweet when it gets to this stage. I haven't tasted it all the way through the stages, which is what I'm going to do now, but I have tasted it this stage here, and it's phenomenal. I'm hoping some of these other stages will have a hint of spice to them that's lost here, but we'll get into that as I go. Okay, so this isn't exactly what I bred for, but it is something I'm going to take. It showed itself, and it's fantastic. My wife doesn't like peppers with any heat at all, and so this will serve as similar to a bell pepper, but much sweeter than a bell pepper. I mean, much sweeter than a bell pepper. When I say sweet, I mean sweet, like sugar, not sweet like, if you detect real hard, it's got a little bit of sugar content to it. No, that's not sweet to me. This is sweet, sugar sweet. Well, not sugar sweet, but it is super sweet. It's as sweet as any tomato I've ever tasted. So let's get a weight on these, and then I'll cut them open. 1.2 ounces. This one's going to be a little bigger. 1.5, 2 ounces. 1.32, and last but not least, 1.6. So it's about 1.5 ounces. It's a decent size pepper. It's a little bigger than California Bryan, and it's not as fat as lipsticks or the ones for me grew. They're fatter at the top, and they're not as long. They're fat and short, squatty. But this is fantastic. Okay, so let's get this out of the way. I only had the one plant that did that, and so the examples I got they have a little bit of insect pressure, but that doesn't change anything for me. Okay, let's set the tip at 4, and I've got 1, 2, 3. Almost 3.5 inches for that one. Set this one in it. And this one is definitely 3.5. See, your angle, what you see, isn't going to be exactly what I see because you're at a different angle than I am. But I've got the true measurement. I'm directly over top. This is also just a shade under 3.5. And last but not least, this one is 3 3/4. Okay, so the average of these is about 3.5 inches. Set that aside. Now I'm going to cut these open and do a taste test of them at different lengths. I'm going to make a pretty little place setting for you, if you will. Because I can drag the video out longer, which I know you're really enjoying right now. I'm sorry, I just get such a kick sometimes out of stuff. I'm thinking that these, being sweet like this, they would make a beautiful arrangement in any food, whether eaten raw, like in a salad, or even cooked, or blanched, or what's it called? When you al dente, I guess, is a good enough word. You can tell this one is riper. It's got a softer texture to it. It's not as crunchy as the others. Man, that's a dark red, isn't it, all the way through? Okay. Now I've got a pretty presentation for you. Put the knife down so I don't cut myself and bleed all over my video. So I think it's wise to start from the less ripe, I guess, to the most ripe, and go from there and just get a staged taste test based on how the peppers will grow, because it takes probably 2 weeks to get from this to this red. But the plant, the good thing about the plant is it's really prolific. It's a lot more prolific than lipstick, but it's not quite as prolific as California Bryan, which kind of is to be expected, isn't it? Okay, so let's take this one. If that has any heat to it at all, I can't detect it. It definitely is, I hate to use the word watery, juicy. Juicy sounds better than watery, doesn't it? Very crispy. Decent thick walls. Okay. Easily at this stage it'll sub as a bell pepper. It doesn't have quite the twang of a bell pepper, but it's got a little bit of that bell pepper like flavor. Let's try this color. The same as this. It lost almost all of its twang, and it's got a richness to it. I'm having a hard problem defining. I don't know if you can hear me crunching or not. Sometimes when I edit the video, it's like, oh, wait, it's loud. I like this flavor better than this flavor. This one would probably be good for cooking or for people that are hung up on the taste of bell peppers. This one's got more more and not quite the twang. All right, let's get this one. That's good. It's got more richness than this one and a tad bit of sweetness. I feel predictable right now, what I'm telling you, very predictable. All right, let's taste the red. Sweet. It's got a lot of sweetness, almost to the point where it masks the pepper flavor. It's almost like you can't tell it's a pepper if someone gave it to you. That's pretty awesome. Notice I ate all those. I'm going to save the seeds out of these. That's what it looks like in there. So, the red one, which I ate all of, not even realize I was eating it all. It was so good. It's very sweet. It's sweet to the point where you can't hardly tell it's a pepper, like I said, and then it progresses down from that level. You can tell the step up or the step down, however you want to equate it, from pepper with a tad bit of bell pepper type twang to almost none, a little bit of unique taste that's not bell pepper like, some depth to it, more depth, and almost completely sweet. And I'm super interested to find out what these things would be roasted at the different levels. Unfortunately, right now as I'm closing down the pepper grows and saving seed, I don't have a lot to test that, but I will save the seed from this one, and I will grow out a lot of these for the next generation. This is Brent, you guys. We'll see you later.